Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today here in Canada it is Mother's Day, so I thought today for my mom I would cook her favorite meal, which is Dal Chawal. It's a very simple Indian dish. This is the authentic way that my mom has made it since we were young. This is the exact same way she taught me how to make it as well. Today I'm going to share with you how I make it, and it's a very delicious, weight loss friendly and diabetic friendly meal that you can eat if you do follow a whole foods plant-based diet. This is a completely whole food plant-based dish. I did use a bit of oil in it just so that my veggies and my spices wouldn't stick to the pan, but you can totally omit it if you don't want to use oil. I'm currently on 100 days of only eating raw food, so I'm not going to be eating this meal, but my parents are. And yeah, I really wanted to do something cute and special for them, especially my mom. I didn't want her to like come home and cook, so I thought I would cook for her today. If you want to know how I make this delicious, amazing Dal Chawal recipe, then keep on watching. I should specify that Dal Chawal in English means lentils and rice, and this is not a curry dish. I know that like when people make Indian food, they like to throw in that word curry all the time. No, there's a lot more to Indian food than just curry. And I'm so excited to actually share the recipes that I grew up eating because they're all whole food plant-based and they're delicious. So yeah, so if you guys want to learn, then keep on watching. So I'm about to make dal for my mom and my dad. It is Mother's Day, and this is a whole food plant-based meal. I grew up eating this, and I know like people make dal many different ways, but I'm gonna make it the way my mom taught me how to make it. This is her authentic way of making it. This is how I grew up eating it, so I'm gonna make it for my mom tonight. My tomatoes are getting a little wrinkly, so I'm gonna use them up today, but there's two parts in how to make the dal that my mom makes, so I'll tell you guys how to make it. So on this side is the first step. So you're gonna get your dal. You need red lentils and yellow lentils, and then you need some salt, pepper, and turmeric. This is optional, but you can put Serrano pepper if you want to. You don't have to, but I like it. And my parents love spicy food, so I'm gonna put it in for them anyways. I don't have water in here, but you're gonna need 8 cups of water in there. So that's like the first step. You're gonna bring everything to a boil, and then you're gonna move on to the Tudka part, which is like the actual seasonings of the dish. So I will walk you through this side after. So in this saucepan, I put about 8 cups of water in here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this water come to a boil, and then I'm gonna add in my red and my yellow lentils. I'm taking my sieve here and I'm gonna add in my lentils, and I'm going to wash them very thoroughly under the water till the water runs clear. You wanna do this like as if you're cooking rice. You want the water to be totally clear. That's when you know your lentils have been washed very well. So I washed my lentils really well, and I'm gonna just put them aside for now and work on everything else. Next, you're gonna take your tomatoes and dice them up and put them in a food processor and blend them up till they become a nice liquidy paste. You want to make sure that you blend the tomatoes very thoroughly. Once the water has come to a boil, you're gonna add in your lentils. You're then going to add in some turmeric, salt, and pepper. I added about 1/4 teaspoon of everything and gave it a nice big stir. Next, I'm going to add my Serrano peppers, and I'm going to turn my heat down to low and let this all simmer for about 45 minutes. I'm now going to be working on the second part of this dish. I'm going to take my ginger, Serrano peppers, and garlic and cut them up into little pieces and put them in my food processor because I want them to be very finely chopped. This makes a really nice consistency in the dal in itself, so it's really important to make sure everything is finely minced. In my pan here, I'm going to be using a little bit of avocado oil. I used about like a teaspoon of it. This is just to prevent the ginger, garlic, and the onions from sticking to the pan. And I've tried this before with like water and it's just a disaster. So I just use a little bit of oil and I don't think it's like that bad. It's not gonna like, hinder your success of losing weight or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna add my onions here and I'm gonna like caramelize them and let them soften up till they become translucent. To my onions, I'm going to add cumin seeds. Cumin seeds add such a beautiful depth of flavor. You definitely don't want to miss this step because it is what really brings out such a lovely taste. Once you notice that your onions have caramelized, you're going to take your ginger, garlic, and serrano peppers and toss those in there and let them brown up for a bit as well. So I'm just adding a little bit of water here just to help it cook a little bit more and deglaze, because I did notice that some of the ingredients were sticking to the pan. I wasn't really wanting to add any more oil, so this is a great tip to cook further just by using some water. Here I'm just checking up on my dal and I'm giving it a nice stir. I can already tell that the dal is coming together very nicely. You want to make sure that the dal kind of just like melts in with the water, and throughout the video you'll see the consistency get better and better. So at this point I'm going to be adding in my tomatoes that we pureed in our food processor. This part is very important and you want to take your time cooking this because if you rush it, it just won't taste the same. You want to make sure that pretty much all of the water is evaporated and you're just left with the veggies. And a really great tip is when you can see the oil separate from the tomatoes, that's when you know that this mixture is done. So to this mixture, I added in a bit of turmeric and black pepper and a little bit of coriander powder. And at this point, you just want to mix everything together till it's all combined and well coated together. So this is what it looks like once it's all cooked down and everything has come together. I just placed it in this bowl and I'm going to put it aside and let my lentils simmer a little bit more, and then we'll combine everything together. I have let my lentils simmer for about 45 minutes. This is the perfect consistency I want them at. As you guys can see, the lentils have softened up quite a bit, and that is exactly what we're going for. I'm now going to add my Tudka mixture into the dal, and I'm going to give everything a nice stir. You want to make sure you take your time combining the Tudka mixture with the dal. Once everything has been combined and there's no lumps or clumps, your dal is ready to be served. I'm now going to be making the chawal, which is the rice. So here I cut up an onion into strips. I'm going to be using 1 cup of brown rice. I also diced up 1 medium potato. I'm also going to be using 1 cup of green peas. I'm going to add a teaspoon of avocado oil again so that nothing sticks to my pan. In my pan, I'm going to add in my yellow onions and let them soften up. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds and let everything roast together. After a few minutes, I'm just going to add in my diced potatoes and let them roast up with the onions and the cumin seeds as well. Once the onions have caramelized a bit, you're going to take your 2 cups of water and you're going to add it into your pan and let everything simmer together and deglaze. You just want to stir everything together, and you're going to add your green peas at this point, and then you're also going to be adding in your brown rice. I'm just going to be using a little bit of salt to add flavor to this dish. I'm also going to add just a little bit of black pepper as well. You want to give everything a nice, good, thorough stir, and then you're going to place the lid on and let it simmer for about 25 minutes. This is what my rice looks like once it's been cooked. I did go ahead and fluff it up with a fork, and now it's ready to be served. I want to wish all the moms out there a very happy Mother's Day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.